So how does leasing and running a typical petrol SUV family car with a electric SUV family car? That's what we're going to find out today. Welcome back to the channel, folks. JD here again. So the other day I did a little bit of a discussion on how much my Tesla Model 3 cost me to do about 130 miles, and kind of that got me thinking, if a petrol car is cheaper to lease, what's the overall cost, say over 12 months, to put fuel in it as well and pay the lease? Is it still cheaper to go petrol even though the lease is cheaper? Or overall, is it cheaper to consider an electric car? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to nip over to Lease Loco. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare, say, a Kia e-niro with a petrol Nissan Qashqai. So they're kind of similar size cars, you know, they do similar things. One's obviously petrol, one's electric. So if we pick, let's say the top one here, Kia e-niro 2 long range. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 8,000 miles a year. And I'm going to choose 1 plus 35. So no big upfront deposit, 1 monthly payment followed by 35 of the same equal payments. And that comes out, look, at the moment at £349.66. Okay, then let's choose a Qashqai. Now I don't know a lot about Qashqai, so we'll just have to choose one that looks similar. So I'm not going to choose the manual one because obviously the Kia e-niro is automatic. So the first automatic on the list is this Nissan Qashqai 1.3 Dig-T MH158 N connector Xtronic. So let's have a look at that. Same criteria, so 8,000 miles a year, 1 plus 35. So it is cheaper, look, that's coming out at £313.49. Okay, so let's put both of those into a bit of a spreadsheet, which I've already done. So you can see over 12 months, the Qashqai would cost us £3,761.88 in lease payments. The e-niro, £4,195.95. Okay, so £36.17 a month more, or £434.04 more a year in lease payments. However, let's now fuel it and see what happens. So 8,000 miles a year. Now let's assume petrol is, it might be a bit more than this now, but last time I looked it was about 125. So £1.25.9 a litre. Times that by 4.545, it comes out at £5.72 per gallon. And I've estimated, and I could be wrong, it could be a bit more than this, could be a bit less than this, but let's say on average 40 miles per gallon, okay? So that works out pence per mile of 14.3 pence per mile, okay? So if we multiply that figure by 8,000, which is the miles we're doing a year, that's going to come out at £1,144.43. So £95.37 a month. Okay. What about the e-niro then? Well, like I've said before, I'm on Octopus Go Faster, so I'm going to assume we're using that tariff. That enables me to charge, or anybody to charge if you can get the tariff, between 8:30, or it can be later, but I've chosen from 8:30 until 1:30 the following morning, so 5 hours at 5.5 pence per unit. Okay, a bit like the Tesla, because I know the e-niros are very efficient, and again it might be a bit more than this, but I've assumed an efficiency figure of 4 miles per kilowatt hour. So for every unit of electricity, this car will travel 4 miles on average. So if we take 5.5 pence per unit, divide that by 4, that gives us a pence per mile of 1.4 pence per mile. Now, this is pure fluke, but as you can see, it's 10 times cheaper to run the e-niro than the Qashqai. So over the 8,000 miles, believe it or not, that's going to cost us just £110 a year in electricity. So £9.17 per month as opposed to £95.37 per month on the Qashqai. So total then over the 12 months is £4,906 for the Qashqai, $4,305 for the e-niro. So £600 or £50 a month cheaper overall to fuel and lease in the first 12 months, the e-niro versus the Qashqai. Okay, so this is a very basic comparison because I haven't factored in the full 3 years. I haven't factored in any servicing costs because these are non-maintained leases. But just in terms of paying the lease and fueling it, £50 a month cheaper. Now, what about insurance? So my Tesla is Group 50 and my insurance doubled between the Tesla and the Macan. So there may be a penalty to pay when you insure an electric vehicle, but I wouldn't have thought it would be that much difference on an e-niro versus the Qashqai. However, to be fair, I've assumed it doubles. So let's say average insurance, good driver history, plenty of no claims bonus. I don't think you'd be paying much more than £300 a year on a Qashqai, so £25 a month. Let's assume it's double that on the e-niro. It probably wouldn't be, but £600 a year or £50 a month. We are still £25 a month better off to run the Qashqai versus the e-niro. I tell you what we'll do. Obviously, the more miles you do in an electric car, the more savings you will make in comparison to a petrol. So let's choose 15,000 miles a year. So 15,000 miles a year on the Nissan Qashqai is $364.74. Let's see what happens. I haven't tried this. So let's see what happens on the e-niro. It was that one, wasn't it? So 1 plus 35, 15,000 miles a year comes out at 405.88. So there's about the same difference actually by the looks of things. Okay, so still about £41 a month cheaper. Sorry, more expensive. Qashqai versus the e-niro. Let's now put 15,000 miles in here. So 15,000 miles a year on the Qashqai would now cost us £2,145.81 in petrol, or £178 a month, versus just £206 a year on the e-niro, or £17.19 per month. So total running costs now £6,500 on the Qashqai, £5,000 just over on the e-niro, so £1,445 a year or £120 a month. Knock the insurance estimations off, you're now £95 a month better off. So as you can see, obviously the more miles you do, the bigger the saving in terms of how much electricity it's going to cost. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about today. I hope that was reasonably interesting. As always, please do hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're notified as and when I make a new video. As always, if you want a copy of the latest PCP spreadsheet for a one-off payment of £10, please do email me. And also we now have the salary sacrifice comparison spreadsheet, which is really useful if your company is thinking of offering a salary sacrifice scheme to run an electric vehicle. It will show you roughly, it's pretty good roughly actually, the savings that can be made compared to leasing a normal petrol car. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.